we need to subtract these two rational expressions. Subtract rational expressions. And the denominators are very different. If you look at this one, the denominator is x minus 4, and this one is x minus 3. Okay, and that binomial has to stay together. You can't just take out, oh, they both have an x. Look, no, the x minus 4 has to stay together. So we're going to say, what is this fraction missing in the denominator that this one has? And the answer is x minus 3. And if I multiply the denominator times x minus 3, to be fair, I have to do the same thing to the numerator, x minus 3. Okay, this is essentially a 1, and multiplying anything times 1 doesn't change the value, just the way that it looks. Now, what is this fraction missing that the first fraction has in the denominator? Well, it's missing an x minus 4. So if I multiply the bottom times x minus 4, I also need to multiply the top times x minus 4. These fractions will now have a common denominator of x minus 3, x minus 4. So let's see what that looks like now. Here's x minus 3 times x minus 4. Same thing here. X minus 3 times x minus 4. All right, now what's my numerator? My numerator, this is x minus 3 times 5, and the way that we're used to writing it is 5 times x minus 3, and yes, I will distribute that in a minute. My numerator here is 4 times x minus 4, and I will also distribute that in a minute. I like to write one step where I put them all together under one fraction bar. X minus 3 times x minus 4, and this is 5 times x minus 3 minus 4 times x minus 4. Okay, and that's going to help me see that this 4 is negative. So when I distribute, that negative is going to distribute to not only the first term, but also to the second term. Let's do that now. 5 times x, 5x, 5 times negative 3, negative 15. Negative 4 times x, negative 4x, negative 4 times negative 4, a negative times a negative is a positive 16. Okay, I'm going to make this bold. All right, all over my common denominator of x minus 3, x minus 4. Combine my like terms in the numerator. I see that 5x minus 4x is going to give me 1x. And I see that negative 15 plus 16 is going to give me plus 1. All over my denominator of x minus 4. I make that x minus 3 times x minus 4. Don't want to switch it up for no reason. And now I look to cancel out. I'm really hoping that something in my numerator cancels with something in my denominator, but that doesn't happen. So I am done. Remember, usually when you have a problem with a different denominator, when you get to the end, it's kind of a letdown problem. Nothing's going to cancel out.